Can you elaborate that, please?
There's a violet, beautiful light filling the room. And I believe Saint Germain is here.
Would like to receive message and have you make a connection with Saint Germain now. Would that be possible?
Yes.
Thank you. So I would like to have this conversation, the dialogue going between Hill and Saint Germain, please. I will do the listening.
My beloved, it is time indeed that we have this conversation. You have done well to listen. Listen to your heart. Listen to those sources which have touched you and awakened you. And you have been searching for our connection. And you've done it in the right way by following what your heart tells you is true, as I have taught you and taught many. You want to know about our relationship. Our relationship is timeless and has spanned eons of time. As you well know, time is only relevant in the earth plane. And on that plane, we have journeyed together, worked together, laughed together, many times, going back to the city of the first golden age of man. We have known each other in various lifetimes. Generally, we've been together at times that were important on the earth. And you remember and are touched by the time that you lived as an Essene on Mount Carmel. And I was there with you as well. And I have been with you in other lifetimes. But I know that in this one, you feel a sense of longing. You feel the kinship and brotherhood and love that we share. But deep inside, you have seen and I have witnessed too many times in which you feel that you are not worthy. That you're too far away for someone as you think of, the way you think of me. And nothing could be farther from the truth. I love you as much for the person you are right this minute as I have ever loved you. in any incarnation, and we have spent a great deal of time outside of the earth plane. What you need to understand for today, my son, is that you have been called at the right time, in the right place, and you will do the right things. Yes, you are moving towards me through the channels that you have discovered, the teachings that you have resonated with, for which I'm very happy. And it's not a coincidence that you found the great James version of the Bible to be the one that you enjoyed reading, because, as you probably know, I wrote it. What you need to understand in this period of your life on earth is that you are being helped by many. You're being helped by me, by your beloved Yeshua, by your sister Mary, by so many. In fact, here, you see this room? Can you count them all? Yes, this is the Grand Teton. All of these magnificent beings are helping you because you don't know who you really are, but you will, and you will know that soon. Pieces of the puzzle have been being put together, and there were experiences you had to go through in order to be ready for them, for these things to be added unto you. It is time for you to let go of all negative perceptions of yourself. You do a fine job of not judging others. And when you do, in rare occasions today, find yourself out of harmony with people, you very quickly right yourself. You are coming into your own, and the missing piece is you. You have served the world. You have served your family and served your friends, colleagues. Now you will serve God and your mighty God presence. And in doing so, will join us in the great work that is happening. Not only is the earth going through her magnificent growing pains, but as you know, not just I, but yourself and others put this great country, great because of its principles. We built this nation. We built liberty, freedom, a just society that would be the center and home for the Christ light to light the entire world as we enter in to a new golden age. America and the world have been in the grips of darkness. Very powerful forces which have allowed themselves to become completely enslaved by their passions to the outer world. And they have a great hold over the mass of men and women, most of which have no idea they are being used and manipulated and slaughtered this way. This will end, and this end is coming quite soon. We have seen to this. It is the divine plan that America will lift the shackles of darkness, and in so doing, be a light unto the world, that the entire world can be free to pursue honest and decent lives. You are doing with the sending out of prayers, with the sending out of the great violet rays, with the use of violet Tara. You are doing a great deal now that has an effect that is greater than you know. But you will come into your own. Yes, embrace the fact that you have been an ascended master long before now. You have lived and had many wonderful lessons. Sometimes I have cried for you, but mostly I've laughed because I knew that when you understood, you would laugh as well. And that we will do together. Know this. You know the truth. You know the path. You have been shown and accepted the changes that are easily made and more than worth it. And as you do this, know that we are giving you so much help and assistance. You will not fail, and you will see in very short order the fruit of your labors. And yes, you should go and see beloved Peter. He has done and does do great work, and I am grateful for him for doing this and being obedient. But you two have a great deal in common as well. You were correct. You did know each other thousands of years ago, but you've known each other far longer and in more places than that. And when you go out and see him, please be sure to visit us on Mount Shasta. And perhaps then we can all have a wonderful and proper greeting in person. Ask Peter. When he gives you the time, know that that time is the right time.
Thank you so much.
It is my honor. I thank you.
I'm grateful. He also would like to know, please, how best for him to carry on your teaching to others.
By living the teachings that he is learning and absorbing, with what he has come to see and what we are showing him. I will take this time to address this feeling he has of a dryness. He needed a rest period because what's to come is going to be quite something. But the best way is always the same. You know this, my beloved Kuan Yin.
Yes.
The best way is to live it.
Be by example.
That's always the best. And he will do this. And his light will shine far brighter than he thinks it will.
Thank you so much. Please stay integrated and stay connected with him in every moment from now on. So you can keep reminding him what he needs to remember.
I am here with him at all times. And
let him feel you, please, at all times. A good way to keep reminding him to truly live his life honest, the life mission and help others through the teaching of Saint Germain.
Well, a good way would be to put my picture in every room of his house. That's a joke. He has a picture of me in his Reiki room, as he calls it. He has note cards that he writes things on. It would be a good idea for a time for him to put reminders in the places he goes in the house most frequently. Put something in the car. Now, he has some amethysts. It would be nice for him to put some in places, wear them, and simply physical objects that he would encounter and notice. He doesn't need a big push, but simply putting these things in his room, in his bathroom, upstairs where he plays games on his computer, which you can tell him I told you this. It's okay to play games.
Yes, it is.
Enjoyment is a perfectly good way to spend time. And to remind him, some physical reminders, but as he now will adopt these practices with a greater urgency and joy, I will remind him, because he will see me, and he already feels and senses me. But it won't be long before he will have more direct contact with me. I may surprise him one day, just for fun. But as you know, just for fun will have a great meaning behind it. Yes, he simply needs, he's already on his way.
Just have to maintain it.
He needed some affirmation from outside of himself that gave him a recentering, a repurposing, and the tools and the knowledge of the things that are the most critical. These gifts, along with the practices he already does, he knows that the masters are within each and every one of us. And he does call to me on a regular basis. What's going to change is with his valuing himself as he should, he will find that far more productive. And as with all, as he concentrates on me, I will concentrate on him. And the purple mist will become me in physical form. Not that I'm any less so as a mist, and I do a great cloud, but he will feel the contact. He will hear me inside, and he will know that it is me.
Thank you. What is the synchronicity of the way we have met through this work?
Oh, well, he was definitely led here. He knew that he wasn't really in a terrible place, but he was very sick and tired of, as he feels, not moving forward. He really moved forward quite a lot in the last few years. And so this short period, which really is more to do with externals than anything on his part, has been very frustrating, and it's a difficult time of year for everyone. And he looked about for sources of strength and direction. He has learned that all true growth and direction comes from within, that I can no more or would no more snap my fingers and make him change, even if he wished it and I wished it. As you know, we must do this ourselves. He knows that. He wasn't looking for a quick fix, but he was looking for a way to unblock the areas where he has felt blocked up. So he searched for a quantum healer, and I must tell you, my dear, you weren't his first choice, but I only mean that chronologically. He found somebody who is a level 3, that he was going to go see, or was considering it, in December. But then he looked again, and his eye came across your name and information. And it was a little nudge somebody you know gave him that said, this is the person you need, and this is why. You are correct in that many practitioners of the quantum healing can accomplish the same goal of putting somebody into the correct state. But he felt a very deep connection when he read about you, and then, due to your wise suggestion that he look into your book and learn more about you, it was very clear that this was the right place for him to be. You are the right one for him to be with. And by the way, I thought it was about time the two of you got to know each other this go-round.
Have we worked together? Share any past life together? prior to this carnation?
Very much.
Can you enlighten us about that, please?
Give me a moment, please.
Thank you.
There due to the fact that you and I are part of a larger group who have worked for the benefit of mankind and for the benefit of the earth, that we don't really exist in one place and time. During different periods in Earth's history, to keep it to this plane, the three of us, as well as many others, have been working collectively. One that he will relate to was most assuredly the time of the life of Jesus and his work. As you know, not only, you mentioned earlier today about the 22 Jesuses here on earth, due to the fact that there are so many dimensions of the earth. Well, during the times in which some of the greatest works are being done, it requires the cooperation of the many masters, as well as many who hold a great light but may be lesser known, and not for them being lesser than. And our brother Joseph of Arimathea, at the time he was embodied on the earth plane, you may know that there was a time in France, not so long ago, when I was known as the Wunderkind of Europe, as I tried so very hard to stop the French Revolution from happening. And people marveled that I was in more than one place at one time. At the time, because it was a very great and long effort, in order for Jesus to accomplish his greater mission, all of the great masters, energy beings from far beyond our system, came and joined together to provide energy of the many different vibrations of love that we embody. And at that time, I, yourself, this one, assisted so that Jesus could make this great transformation. it was not the most personal encounter because there were so many of us. But we were all linked together as one because we had one mandate and we had one focus, and all of us together with our varying degrees of frequency of love literally poured all of that energy into Christ at the time of his great transfiguration upon the cross. Many saw a body killed on the cross, but for those with eyes to see, they saw far above the transcendent and ascended Christ, the Christ light, which is universal. That required your help, my help, his help, and all of the beings who volunteered for that great and mighty effort. And if it were not for each frequency, each of you, there weren't just one of you there, by the way. There were you in many frequencies, as were there for all of us. This was one of the greatest acts that was necessary for this great experiment to go forward. So we worked together as the greatest call that ever went out for the masters and for the beings that are beyond even our comprehension to come together and form a web of light and love that poured through the channel that Jesus the man was as he ascended to become the Christ. And that Christ spread within all things, with each one of us, and is poised right below the mighty God self, which each one of us has above our heads.
Thank you so much.
And I and all of us thank you. What you did then, what you have done since, and what you do today. I thank you.
I'm honored to be of service. Thank you so much.